all the buzz about giving up on your dream and working a 9 to 5, that's BS.
And dreams change.
Bro.
Dreams change, really and truly. Dreams change.
Welcome to the first week of Beyond the 9 to 5. I'm your host, Oshido Christie.
I'm your host, Carl Johnson.
This week, we'll be discussing topics based around common misconception about working a 9 to 5, societal pressure and expectation, how that impact career decision, and what does it mean to be successful. Loaded.
So we're going to help you to find your ideal career, your purpose, and the truth of why you are here. Alright, so our first topic is that if you work a 9 to 5, if you are going into capitalism and corporate greed, my stance on the matter is you are not. Working a 9 to 5 is helping you, helping your family. You're earning an honest income right there. So even if we are quote unquote giving into capital greed, we're getting something. It's an exchange of money for services or money for goods. And if we don't work a 9 to 5, what can we do? What can we do? Right? Let's not lean into the misconception that being an entrepreneur is as easy as most persons say it is. It's very, very hard. And if you don't have money, you can't make money. Let's just get that out of the way from the start.
I think this is a very interesting topic because capitalism and corporate greed. What does it mean to be a capitalist? That's also something you have to take into consideration because if you're not working a 9 to 5, what are you going to do? You're going to try to do something to make money. Does that make you a capitalist? Because now you're trying to explore person's needs to make a living for yourself, right? So you basically contradict your own statement right there. Exactly. Working a 9 to 5 is giving into corporate greed. And capitalism, what will you do?
What will you do?
Exactly.
Let's not get it twisted. Being an entrepreneur, you're a level above a normal worker as an entrepreneur. You're actually not just employing persons, you are participating in capitalism at its highest form. But let's not get it twisted for that. And to be honest, it's not easy. It's not easy. What's wrong with working for someone? Let's be honest. What's really wrong with working for someone?
It's
easier
than being an entrepreneur.
It's way easier than being an entrepreneur.
To be honest.
We don't have to be responsible for ourselves in terms of payments and a salary. We can actually not think about work all the time. Being an entrepreneur, the job has to always be on your mind. You try to prioritize, will I have to do this today? Will I have to do this tomorrow? And everything is basically surrounding around the actual business. And let's be honest, and everybody make for business.
That is true. Bro, that is something that most people can't accept. Right? You're not meant to be an entrepreneur, bro.
Let's figure it out.
Get a job.
Isn't it? I think we have all seen, like, for example, artists who make music. And we might just think this guy should not be making music. This guy should get a normal job. Some person should just get a job. I'm not saying that to bash person, but know yourself. And from there you can move forward from either an entrepreneur or you're going to work for someone. Right? That is it basically. And let's be honest again, Mr. Christie. Oshido. Lots of persons who want to be entrepreneurs just don't want to work for anybody. Yeah. But if you can't work for someone on a level, how can you lead?
Exactly. How you go learn leadership skills?
How?
Right. It makes no sense. Being an entrepreneur is more than just, I don't want to work for anybody. You have to be responsible. You don't have a choice in the matter.
Have to be.
Right? If you're not able to hold yourself accountable,
that is it,
and deliver on your own promises to yourself, you're wasting your time.
And let's be honest again. Let's assume that this is the bar for accountability. If you're working in a company for someone, you're going to be responsible, yes, and your work ethic has to be at a certain level, yes. But really and truly, you can hide your work ethic based on the fact that you're in a team. If you're working for yourself, your work ethic has to be up here. Up here.
Stretch it out.
Yeah. So, like, you just have to decide and know where on the actual spectrum you stand. And then there are persons like Oshida here who is trying to do both. Yeah.
I don't think there is any clear outline or a guide that someone can use to determine if they should work a 9 to 5 or not, or be an entrepreneur, right? The thing with that is that it depends on your past experience, because some persons are capable of being entrepreneurs but choose not to, because they're also capable of being great employees, and it comes with less stress, comes with less responsibility. You're working a job, you're in a good work environment. Your coworkers are amazing, the pay is good, and there's potential for growth. You're going to stay in that job. One, it's secure. You don't feel uncomfortable. You don't stress out over. We're just normal. Persons who become entrepreneur now, these are the persons who really decide, say, I've done this 9 to 5. I can't be bothered with the stress. I don't have a flexible schedule. I can't do this. I have to do something else. Persons with that drive and that passion, those are the persons who push mainly to become an entrepreneur. Not saying they are the only persons, but majority of entrepreneurs
Alright.
derive from that.
Alright. So my thoughts on it is that you don't necessarily have to be honest with yourself. You can ask your peers, your friends, do you think I will make a good entrepreneur? Would you work for me based on who I am specifically? It's a totally opposite to what you're saying, but I think once you ask honest opinions, you can figure it out. Because let's be honest now, ego is a big thing. A lot of persons can put their ego aside or to the back or in the bin to accept the fact that, guess what, I can't do this. This is not for me, and I would be best serving myself working for someone and moving up whatever ladder is in that organization. It can be
Sure.
private sector, it can be public sector, right? Another thing that a person can ask themselves is this: does my real work ethic, does my actual work ethic reflect me doing what I need to do? Because you will know yourself. And late at nights when you're grinding whole day, you're grinding like for 3 months. You said, all right, I'm gonna quit. I'm gonna quit my job. I'm gonna make a business for myself. You're grinding for 3 months and there's no progress. Not necessarily a monetary progress, but there is no progress in whatever that you're trying to do. There are no connections being made. But even there's no progress, you feel good with yourself. Like, okay, cool, I'm a big boss, I'm the boss, I'm whoever. And there's really no progress. And then let's think about it, solidly, you're not making any money. And there's no step or a ladder to start making any money anytime soon. If you can look into yourself and realize that, okay, cool, this is not for me, you can accept it as an experience. I don't believe in good and bad experience. I just believe in experiences. I can accept it as an experience and say, all right, I can use my experience being out there to go in this or that company A, company B, or company C, move up based on experiences that I have and make a living. Because lots of persons who are doing the straight entrepreneurship, they have help. They have someone who is backing them, to be honest. You don't necessarily have to think about the three needs: clothing, shelter, food. Okay? And once you're in a comfortable spot like that, the basic comfortable spot like that, you can fail or you can try without much repercussions other than losing your time. But once you can ask certain persons questions, honest persons, honest friends, if you find that if you have a mentor in a space, you can ask a mentor straight like, do you think this is for me? And more if it's an honest mentor, they will say, to be honest, no. You have these and you have these qualities, you have these skills, you have these soft skills, you can do this, but this is not necessarily for you. A normal mentor would say, oh, you can work hard, you can do this, you can do that. Oh, this person made it in 10 years, but you in yourself know that you don't have any qualities of that person. So yeah, I think it can be measured. I think it can be measured. But I would want to know if being an entrepreneur is good for you outside of just not want to be working for someone and just wanting to be your own boss. Personal experience now. I was in a situation before where I did not realize that I was stressed until I moved out of that situation, went into a different situation, and I felt free. I felt better, right? That itself made me realize that I got used to the stress. So if one is an entrepreneur, go back into the workspace. If you go back into the workspace, and you realize that working for someone is not fulfilling your intrinsic hunger to make a genuine change to the world, you will know if it's for you, basically. What do you think?
I agree with that. If being an entrepreneur is meant for you, it will be a calling, right? It's something you cannot escape. What was meant for you will
To be
be
fun.
yours,
You see?
right? So if you're going into the 9 to 5, you're going to work for someone. But at the end of the day, you can't find that fulfillment no matter what you do. And you have the desire to be an entrepreneur. And this desire doesn't just come from ego,
That is
but
it.
persons around you as well has seen this and they're telling you, you should do this. You're amazing at this. That is your sign that maybe entrepreneurship is for you. To be honest, there is no black and white answer,
I'll agree.
right? It's gray. You have to go in it to know if this is meant for you or not.
And then another thing could be is that you should realize that you can do everything.
Yes,
You should realize that you cannot do everything. If you
true.
assume that you can do everything, wrong, 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 completely wrong
Wrong
assumption right
bang.
there. That is it. So if you realize that you want to try, identify persons, be intentional with the relationships, and identify persons that you would love to work with.
True, true, true.
That is it.
When it comes on to the part that you'll be traveling, right, or your own personal journey, one thing you need to be is very intentional. Without intentionality, you will not find direction. You will not have the guide. You will not have the support. Choose your friends wisely. Once you're intentional, you'll be able to identify persons who are great to work with. Me and Carl, for example. I intentionally made him my friend. And he can't dispute the fact because I observed and listened and I understand where he was going in life, where he is going in life based on his mindset. It aligns with where I want to go, right? And he's going at a pace that we can support each other and
That
pull
is
each
it.
other. Because of identifying that fact now, the perfect opportunity came about to do this podcast, and now we're here,
That is it.
right? And the growth, the speed is phenomenal, but that is because you have the support. Identify the persons who align best with your where you're going and be intentional about developing that friendship.
That is it. That is it.
Don't be weird about it. Don't be cringe about it.
Nope.
Sit, listen, talk, understand.
Yeah. And it's okay to have friends that are not business partners, to be honest.
That is
It's
true.
okay. It's okay.
That
It's
is true.
100% okay. If you have a friend or someone that you know and you're not a business partner and they take issues with that, that is okay. Because let's be honest, you're doing what you're doing for a reason. And you are them are friends for a reason. And you might be cool with a person, tight, tight, right? But can't work together. So that's okay. That's okay.
That is
And
true.
then another thing is this: not just person, not just being intentional, not just seeing the spin, but persons who don't take things personal. That is it.
Yes,
Don't
exactly.
take things personal. It's all
That
business, really.
that is also a good thing to point out as well. Set clear boundaries and understanding.
Hmm.
And boundaries sound like you're saying, oh, don't cross this line or don't cross that line. It's not. Boundaries are simple. Mutual understanding between me and Carl. Bro, let's do this business together. But here's what. If you need my support, I can help you. But if you come out with a support at one time and I say no, it's just I'm not available.
Okay.
Right? So we just have to move on. Set that clear boundary that
Yep.
it's okay to tell me no.
Hmm.
You don't have to tell me yes every time I ask you to do something. We're doing business.
That is it. That is it. Prepare for a no.
Yeah.
But always prepare for a no.
Prepare for a
Prepare
no.
for a no.
Bar.
Prepare for a no.
Does working a 9 to 5 mean that you're giving up on your dreams? Haha. Crazy.
Uh, and does working a 9 to 5 mean that your dream did not come true? To be honest,
Both can be true.
both can be true.
Both can be
Both can
true.
be true.
Both can be true.
Because let's be honest. We look at 9 to 5, but most persons can't define like give an actual definition of a 9 to 5. A nurse is a 9 to 5 worker. A doctor is a 9 to 5 worker. A
Fox
police officer.
is a 9 to 5
Suppose
work.
your dream from a child, from a young age, was being a police officer, and you kept that up right through life. That's what you want to do. That was your dream, to be a police officer. So like we don't know. So don't. I think that social media, especially nowadays, is basically trying to tell persons that it's not okay, or it's not cool. But fuck, suppose what you're doing in school, suppose you always wanted to be a mechanic.
Exactly.
It,
Bro, being broke is not cool.
being broke is not cool.
Alright.
Being broke is so uncool, right? So yeah, and let's be honest as well, a little bit more. Suppose you can use the experiences that you get from working in your regular job to do something that's extraordinary later on. Suppose you're a doctor and you say that, all right, this is amazing. I love helping people. I love saving lives. I love doing all these things. All right. How about I try to make a private hospital for myself and group together other doctors that I know from school that have been doing phenomenal things also, and you go for the funding and boom, you make that happen. Because you're a doctor initially, that's how you could make that happen. Suppose you're trying to go into makeup, you're a makeup artist or a holistician, and you're thinking, all right, I can make something better than this. I can market this better. From there, you pivot from being a makeup artist or esthetician to a person who is actually making makeup. Suppose, suppose you're really good as a child in the kitchen, and then you're like, all right, cool. I love cooking. I want to be a chef. Pay me for what I love. But yo, thoughts?
Your thoughts make me think about what does it actually mean to give up on your dream, right? Because as Carl said, your dream is subjective, right? It's not based on everyone's dream is not to be an entrepreneur, own a business. Some person's dream is to work, save, invest, retire. That's your dream. That involves incorporating a 9 to 5. All the buzz about giving up on your dream and working a 9 to 5, that's BS.
And dreams change.
Bro.
Dreams change, really and truly. Dreams change. Dreams change. Throughout your lifetime, dreams change.
Dreams change, bro. Dreams change because you grow. When you grow and go through life, you gain new experiences. With these new experiences comes new preferences.
That is it.
And with new preferences comes new goals, and new goals come new dreams.
Yes. Because the only persons who don't grow are persons who intentionally stay where they are. Because if you are comfortable, to be honest, you will not grow.
That is.
And as an entrepreneur, that is a big part of it. If you are in a comfortable position, you will not excel.
Make yourself uncomfortable. If you're stagnant, your fault. Can't blame nobody. I was stagnant. My fault. All right. Now float now.
Nice. Yeah.
Your past doesn't determine your future, only your present does. I say that to basically say, if you weren't a good leader in the past, that doesn't mean you can't be a good leader from this point moving forward. Because what it takes is the mindset shift. Once you understand that, once you're able to identify that, hey, I wasn't a good leader before because of XYZ, but no, I want to be a great leader. Why do you want to be a great leader? Because of XYZ. What will you start doing? Change your narrative. Now, once you've changed that narrative, what's going to happen now is you're going to put yourself out there to consume more content about leadership.
That is it.
Now you're pivoting and you're changing your entire personality, your demeanor, everything.
That is it.
Your old self can't compare to your future self. And your present self is the bridge between both.
Yes. So, in terms of giving yourself a fair chance, as Oshida said, it's a mindset shift. And not just the mindset shit, the content part is a very, 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 very big part of it. I can give you an example for myself. In 2020, I did not know what COVID was. I remember I went to work one day and somebody was like, yeah, what COVID? I was like, on him, so. What is COVID? Because my social media was not cued to any news or anything like that. I always saw news that it was depressing, so I did not watch news or keep up on news because news is kind of depressing. At that point in time, I put it on myself to say, all right, I need to know what's going on. So I shifted my mindset there. After I shifted my mindset, I started, kid you not, I followed Star, Gleaner, Observer, on BBC, NBC, a news place in Canada, every news outlet that I could find, media outlet I could find rather, yeah. Mellow, radio, everything. From there, my feed was more news. I was seeing more and more news, so I didn't even need to have like a discipline to keep up. It was there in my face. So mindset shift, then the social media shift, and from there, it was I was always keeping up. And I wasn't like, I don't know in terms of like current affairs or what's going on with that and that celebrity or whatever. But every time a new thing comes out, it's there. I'm following Ministry of Finance. I'm following Ministry of Education. I'm following the two leaders of the two parties in Jamaica. So every time something new comes up, I can see what's going on. Like it's as I wake up, I can see it. If you see my feed right now, my feed is quote unquote boring, but he knows. He knows. He knows. He knows. Everything I killed, you just know more. Right? Because my sister told me this once. Because when I was little, she said that there's nothing wrong with knowing different things about different topics. Because you don't know when the knowledge at that point in time can come in and just make a awesome connection with someone or awesome conversation with someone else. So yeah, mindset shift is a big part of it, and it's shifting the social media from there. Yeah. And he's a social media guy. He should know. He should know. All right. So in terms of shifting mindset and making an active effort to shifting what you consume, it's very important because persons persons feel great with the idea of shifting the mindset, but most persons aren't putting in the work. Not even hard work. Most persons don't put in the actual work itself to shift what they consume. Right? In what a few years ago, I realized that I was listening to too much music and music was becoming too much. So I unfollowed all of the artists that I would normally follow. Once I unfollowed them, I told myself I won't go above 100 subscriptions on YouTube. And those 100 have been relevant. If I see something that I'm saying, all right, this is not going to help me any at all, don't suggest. So that is the most, and it's easy. It's very, very easy. It's very, very, very easy. You reach that point, once you start to do it, you won't need any discipline to do it. You'll just automatically see the content that you're supposed to be seeing, not content that you quote unquote want to see, or content that gives you a little dopamine right there, but content that is actually important, right? So once you make that step, it's not a step up, it's like a step down. You just have to run and keep up, basically.
All right. So when it comes on to mindset shift, right, it includes being intentional. This also includes your social media pages as well and tailoring that to the person who that you want to be. But it's not a complete change. It's adding and subtracting, right? Because you're still the person you are. You just want to add something else to who you are now. So I'm not telling you to erase everything that you're seeing on your social media feed, but minimize what is not adding to your growth and add other stuff that will add to your growth. Now you have a good mixture, a good balance. You're going on social media, you're looking for inspiration, there's inspiration. You're tired, you're looking to declutter, de-stress, scroll, there is your content to de-stress. You need to find a balance. You need to find a mixture of both. If you can't find a mixture of both, if it's only entertainment that doesn't add any value or growth to you, then you're on your phone most of the time. You'll be stuck where you are right now. Your mindset will not
Fox,
change.
fox, fox.
But at the same time, if you overconsume productivity content and content from a lot of successful people, you will now feel as if you're behind, right? And you will feel like you are pressured to be this great person. The stories you're hearing online in that 5-minute videos took 5 years to achieve, right? So because of that, you have to go at your pace.
That is it. That is it. In terms of going at your pace, we had previously said it, put ego aside. Put ego aside, slow down, know what can add to you. Or even better, think about it like this. What does the me from 5 years in the future? What would they mean from 5 years in the future? Be. Who do I want to be 5 years from now? And consume things that can make you be that person 5 years from now. And from there, the shift can take place. It's an active shift too.
It is a very active shift.
Yeah.
It's not a
It's
passive
not a
shift.
passive shift.
It's an active shift.
Active shift.
And it's not something you have to just do one time. It's not something you drastically just get into and do. One step at a time.
One step at a time.
One day at a time.
One day at a time.
And that's how you get it done.
That is it. All right. So next we're going to speak about the impact of 95 myths on individual career decisions.
Hey boy.
So,
hey boy.
So in terms of that, I think that one should look at certain things personally. You won't necessarily be unhappy in a 9 to 5 because it depends on what you define your happiness as. 9 to 5s aren't necessarily boring, which is a myth also because depends on where you're working and depends on how you enjoy yourself. Because my view of fun is broad. I can be reading. I don't get bored, so I can just read a book and I'm okay. Multiple books and I'm okay. I can go out and I'm okay. Right? I can enjoy myself by myself and I'm okay. In terms of that, also, you're living a lie if you're working 9 to 5. No. What lie? That you need to earn some money to afford to live? No,
sir.
In terms of you must be miserable. No. You know what can be miserable? Make someone miserable in 9 to 5? The fact that you're making suggestions to your boss, for example, about how to make things more efficient, how to make the workflow be easier, be smoother, and then you're not getting, the boss is not being receptive, or the manager or the supervisor, whoever is not being receptive. That can make you miserable because you see a better part, and because of tradition, they would like you to walk in the path that has always been walked in. So no. Yeah.
Yes. Working a 9 to 5 means that you're living a lie. What lie? No, explain to me. May I listen? Because me not understand. What lie are you living if you work a 9 to 5? Because your goal is to own a company, and my goal is to ensure that I retire at X age by working an honest wage without the stress of being an entrepreneur. All of a sudden, I'm beneath you. That's crazy. That is crazy.
In terms of person's thoughts and their opinion that being an entrepreneur, owning your own business, is higher than working for someone, I think that because working for yourself or making your own business is exciting. It looks good. It's a great story to tell. It's a great story to tell. It strokes your ego.
Yeah, man.
It strokes the person's ego who is doing it, and it strokes other person's ego. Like, oh my, if I do that, I'll be this person or be that person. But no, because let's be honest. There are a lot of C-suite persons out there in a company of one that cannot show. I don't want my ego to be stroked like that. That's okay. That's any thoughts, so man? Any thoughts, sir? You have thoughts, sir?
It's a very good question. Bro, I could work a 9 to 5 for 5 years and you spend 5 years working on that business, and best believe I'll achieve more than you did in those 5 years.
And additionally, the income that you get from the 9 to 5 can assist you in pushing for that business.
It's not one or the other. It's
It's not
balance.
balance. And then the whole thought about do what you love.
Bro.
Do what you're good at. Until you can do what you love.
Yeah.
Do what you're good at until you can do what you love. Be realistic. And I think that is the thing that persons look at why they look down on a regular person. Because it seems amazing looking out, looking in, but you don't know what that person went through. You don't know if you can handle all of that what that person went through. So yeah, do what you're good at. Be the best at it until you can do what you love.
Bar.
Yeah.
So when it comes down to societal pressure, on the topic of working a 9 to 5 versus being an entrepreneur, why does people put being an entrepreneur on a pedestal? Listen, all right, before me answer the question, I've been doing both. Bro, I started working in 2018, left the job in 2019, started working again in 2020, left the job to focus back on the business in 2020, and that happened for 5 years straight. What was the issue? Right? It's the balance, understanding. I thought that, me I left the work to go start my business, me better that uno. Right? Me I go do this. But at the end of the day, that never worked out. So I have to come back. Why? Because I needed that income to stimulate my cost of living. Right? Being an entrepreneur doesn't put you a league above everyone else. Being an entrepreneur just means that you want to pursue your dreams the way you see fit. Working a 9 to 5 is someone pursuing their dreams how they see fit. So with working a 9 to 5, it's all about changing perspective on how you look at 9 to 5 and entrepreneurship. Both of them are people doing what they think is best for them. You can't say being an entrepreneur is better than working a 9 to 5 just because the person working a 9 to 5 prefers stability and consistency, and the person who is being an entrepreneur prefers flexibility.
It's normally just flexibility, to be honest.
Yeah, really. It's really just flexibility, to be honest, and authority to make their own decisions. But that is a gray area because it's not always easy to make a decision as an entrepreneur.
And then, can I add to that as well? Most young persons now, they don't think about government jobs. They think about private sector, call centers and such. The private sector and the public sector, two totally different workplaces. Work in both. Work in private sector, which was interesting. Work in public sector, which is interesting also. So the dynamic is that. Now my dynamic is that be old people are working now, government. Lies. Lots of older persons, yes, but not necessarily quote unquote be old people. Maybe one has had a bad experience at a call center. Right? And because of that bad experience, you can have your phone, you're like, okay, I can have my phone, I can do this, I can do that, blah, blah, blah. Think about the big picture. What do you want to accomplish, right? And then think about the bigger picture. Do you have a family? Do you have a partner? Because being by yourself and pursuing, you can tell us this. Being by yourself and pursuing your business versus being with someone as an adult who is looking to settle down and pursue your business. Which one is easier or harder?
That is more complicated than the question sounds, because being with an adult doesn't necessarily you're getting a mature adult. You're just getting someone who is old enough to be classified as an adult.
That's it.
Right? So it's about being with someone who can add structure to what you're doing and propel you forward.
And then I'm guessing the person adds structure, but you need to bring in money.
So that is so true, because the person can add structure, but at the end of the day, if they add structure to a building without foundation, it makes no sense.
No sense.
Right? Because you have to have movement on your end. That's how you have development. Because she's here to support you. She or he's here to support you. But you need to ensure that their support is not going to waste. You need to be pushing forward. If you're scared, do it, bro. that's the best time to do it. And this is some cliche ass advice that's all over the internet, to be honest. And I used to think the same thing until I've done so many things scared and I've gotten so much good
This
results.
is it.
And that is why I can say that if your stomach turns, move forward. If you drop on your belly bottom,
Move forward.
don't stay stationary.
Left, right, left.
Left, right,
Left,
left,
right.
right, left, right, left.
So, in terms of societal pressures, it starts from the family.
Mm.
We were having a conversation off camera before about that. And I painted a scenario. Imagine that your mother, for example, didn't get a quote unquote proper education, didn't finish high school, had to be working. Mother have you, right? Mom has you. The expectation is upon you from her to be somebody, whatever that means exactly, right? So the push is normally to, okay, you need to go to school, finish high school at least, you need to go university. University are things you need to go university in the 20s. All right, cool, you go to university. Your mother has another child. The mother is validated in the push that she pushed you. So the other child can do it. Imagine the last child. The last child would be the one that would be like, all right, maybe I want to pursue this differently. But the fact that the child has two older siblings and they are somebody, right? Somebody. What that is. Somebody. That is a pressure right there because you always have to be kind of playing catch up. You have to be somebody as well. And even if you don't walk in the same path, your family might look on you funny, and society might look on you funny. Societal pressure starts from in the home. And not necessarily like you can be anything when you're young. That advice is nice. You can be anything because it stimulates your imagination. See where you want to go, see where your competencies are, see what you can do. But once you get older, you have to make a decision to say, all right, A, B, C. I remember when I was in high school, I wanted to be an engineer. The last part, my mother was like, "No, you can't cut off your finger." Okay, my finger, right? I believe that we should, as adults, as persons with sense, should own our else. If I get a loss, own your loss, learn from the loss, move on from there. And don't make people pressure you, really and truly. Because if I was supposed to follow the path that was set, that was basically set for me, I would not be here right now. Totally different life. But I like who I am, I like who I exist right now. And I know, he knows, the person behind the camera knows that strength by strength I'm moving forward. So yeah. So you have to be resilient. Alright, so in terms of if you're on a path that others have set for you, I think that one should finish what they start, even if you don't necessarily want to finish it. Finish what you start. Once you finish what you start, do research, figure out what you're good at. Because we meet people, I meet young persons a lot who don't really know what they want to do. They have a general idea of what they want to do, or they want to be this. I met young ladies who want to be nurse. How many CXCs you have? None. Do you know what about CXCs you need to pursue to actually get into a nursing program? No. Look into it? No. So if you know where you want to be, finish on the path that they have set for you. If the path allows you to earn a certain amount, pursue it, go on that path. Research more. Because this is gonna be cliche advice. I believe that we all can have it all, if that makes sense. I believe that you can if you want it enough and you work enough and you have the right mentality and you chew the content that you consume, you can have it all. There's nothing wrong with pursuing a part that but you must decide later in your life, all right, this is when it's gonna end, this is when I'm gonna move on. And you can always go back and say, I did this, I did that, I did A, B, C. I'm doing me now.
That was actually a bar.
Yeah.
I did ABC, I'm doing me now.
A, B, C. Yeah.
Really and truly, I am this person where I choose my own path. So my advice might not be as pretty as Carl's advice. Do what you want. Because the thing is, after coming to the mental realization that I'm an adult now and I need to make my own decision, I had to decide what I wanted in life, what's best for me. That doesn't mean I don't listen to others. I still hear them out. But at the end of the day, it's what's best for me. So if he says something and I'm like, I never thought about that. Let me integrate that into what I'm doing. Then by all means. But don't let anyone put you on a path that you don't want to be on, because at the end of the day, you'll just end up with a miserable life. And then you are going to blame the person when it's really your fault, because you had the power to remove yourself from that path, but you didn't because you were scared of the other person's judgment. You need to make this decision to decide what is best for you and work off that. Other persons have good intention, but they don't know you like how you know you.
Basically, know yourself.
Exactly.
Know yourself.
Yes. Certain professions are revered and considered prestigious, while other may be viewed as less desirable. Right. So in that case, I beg to differ. I think it's like being seen as something based on societal standard. Because people, I don't know if, I think this still happens, but people look down on call center workers. Why? Because you're working in a call center, but people still look up to being a nurse, a doctor, a teacher. Bro, there's call center persons earning more than you are right now talking to white folks. Right? So what really is it? Because it cannot be the monetary value of the job. It has to be the prestige that comes with saying that, oh, I'm a teacher. But to be honest, working in a call center, you can make so much money. You have no idea.
And then can I cut you a little bit? Not just working in a call center, all right? Look at it now. Yeah, every single job has your own stressors, right?
That is true. That is so true.
So, based on what we're seeing in the news, working in a school as a teacher is a dangerous job.
Bro, that's very dangerous.
It's a dangerous job. So, like,
dangerous. Especially high school.
Especially high school
teachers have it
teachers,
worse.
So, yeah.
But who is to blame there, though?
That's a different conversation,
that's because if you think about it, I think it's society. And I say that because in high school, that's where someone is transitioning from primary school to being a teenager, from a kid to a teenager. They're very impressionable. Right? But because of how society is at the moment, there's not a lot of good impression there, in terms of there's a lot of negativity being projected on teenagers.
There's a lot of cap being portrayed on teenagers.
Really and truly. And because they're so impressionable,
Yep,
they're going to act based off that. Whose fault is it? It's our fault, to be honest. It's the parents' fault. It's everyone's
adults' fault. Yep.
To be honest. A high school, if I have a kid, I would be scared to send them to high school in Jamaica right now, because he or she can lose their life going to school.
Being at school, after school.
Like, think about that for a minute. School is dangerous. School is more dangerous than walking on the street at night.
Yep.
That's how bad it is. Really and truly. This is far beyond the 9 to 5 still. So
Yeah. But in terms of societal pressures, though, we can't, and prestige, we can look at it like this. Without garbage men, how would the environment be?
Yes, exactly.
Like, you would dare to look down on someone. Why? Without that person, everyone has their place. Every job has its place. Without that job, without that person being there, what would happen? Yeah.
Exactly.
So, and quote unquote dirty jobs, people always look down at. Look at farmers. We should respect farmers, because without farmers, we can't eat.
They're dead hungry.
Exactly, dead hungry. Nation can't eat without farmers. We should respect farmers, but person look at it like a dirty job, right? So, like, I think that we can find respect in any honest job.
That is true.
Specifically, any honest job. Not everything. any honest job, right? Because I think that this could be a whole different conversation, but lots of young persons are looking at the wrong persons and looking at the wrong jobs. They're thinking about certain things that we know that you all know what I'm talking about as a job. It's not really a job, right?
Hello.
It's not. Hello. It's not a job, but yeah, looking at it like it's a job, right?
All right. All right. So now something very interesting. How does these impact career decision when it comes on to a psychological and emotional standpoint? All right. So from my perspective, when it comes on to choosing a career path, remember we talk about the prestigious paths and then careers where others look down on.
And also we talked about the familial and societal pressures.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Now, with that being said, when it comes on to the prestigious career paths, how that influence you emotionally, make you feel good. Yeah, you want doctor. Listen, I'm not shitting on doctors.
Mm-mm.
Right? I
We
really
need
am not.
doctors.
We need them for real. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to make everyone understand that your job and your career is just as important as theirs.
Yep.
Right? You're not beneath them just because they're in medical and you're in customer service. That is not the case.
That is not the case.
You're working for your family, they're working for their family.
You're working for yourself. They're working for themselves.
That is true.
That is, I'm gonna interject a bit. Persons always assume or realize it's a big assumption that if you have a child and you're working, it's like it's more honorable. I'm honorable working for myself, right? That's just a thing. That's just a little peeve I have. I assume that if you have a child, you have to work harder, or work smarter, right? Because if you work consistently harder, who's gonna grow your child? That's a whole different conversation. But I just want to throw that out there.
As Carl said, societal pressure start from in the home.
Mm-hmm.
And I am not a parent, but I'm someone's child, right? So I can speak from that perspective. Kids need the support of their parents.
Mm-hmm.
My mom is very supportive, right? To be honest, really and truly, but that's not the case for everyone. The thing is, when you're pursuing something that your parent can't necessarily see the value of at that point in time, if the space is there to communicate, communicate. If the space is not there to communicate, you can attempt. If they're pushing back so hard, you don't have to push to communicate that. But here's what you need to do: set clear boundaries. Right? This is something that you have to do once you're transitioning into an adult. Because I don't think that parents understand that sometimes you're no longer a kid, you're an adult who makes their own decision. And it's hard, but sometimes you have to stand your ground, be unshakable in your resolve.
That is it. Resolve is the word.
Exactly. Respectfully, of course. Don't be disrespectful to your parents.
Don't be intentionally disrespectful to your parents.
Don't be intentionally disrespectful. Because you will just stand your ground firmly and then think you're disrespectful. Right? So be able to believe in what you're doing, stand your ground firmly, and express your feelings. Also make your parents know that me really know say you did want X, Y, Z, and Z, but this is how I pursue because this is where I want my life to go. The path you are putting me on will not get me to where I need to be. I need to pivot. And I have to pivot from your path because I'm living my life.
That is it.
To get the result that I want for myself.
That is it.
You have to be able to state that clearly. Relate that to your parent. Have that conversation. And sometimes it's not easy. It will take a while.
Mm-hmm. My thought on it is an addition to what you said. In terms of parents and the child or you and whatever the parent that you have, you should not be saying, I don't believe that you should be saying you're going to do this, do A, B, C to get your parents. No. Tell you why. Your parents don't understand what you're doing. So they're wondering, how are you going to get us out of this situation? How are you going to upgrade us? How are you going to upgrade our standard of living? Do it for you and say, I am doing this. This is the potential that it has. This is what I'm doing. The conversation doesn't even need to take place once you can show that this is happening. Actions speak louder than words every single day of the week, right? Once you can show, once you have solid proof, concrete proof that what you're doing is earning, really and truly, most parents just want their kids to earn enough to take care of themselves and maybe help them out when they're a little bit older. But most of them just want their kids to be happy and take care of themselves and have less stress than them. That's most parents. Or as long as you can prove that whatever you are doing can help you. I'm sure your mother can say, Ashida, as long as you don't make you eat, as long as you make money and fight, you alright, and illegally alright. As long as you can show that it's working, yeah, but it's a different situation if it's not working, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
So it all comes down back to knowing yourself and knowing what you are good at and knowing how you can handle yourself. Because for me personally, my parents, my siblings, they know who I am. They know who I am. And at one point, I remember my father used to say, I can't be thinking a certain way, but I'm a very realistic person, right? I think about the money, to be totally honest. Honestly, I think about the money.
Exactly.
If the money is not being made, how are you going to do what you need to do, right? As long as I can show concrete proof of the money, I think they will understand. Not even just the money. Take care of yourself, and if you want to have a bigger impact, if you want to bring some additional compassion in the world, based on what you are doing, I think they will love that more as well. If you're a church going family and like you can pay your tithe and your offerings, they look on you and say, wow, he can actually pay his tithe and his offerings, right? If you donate in the Christmas time and your mother knows like an unfortunate person, your father knows an unfortunate person, you can actually assist like that. And it's all right, he's making enough, they can donate and do good. They'll appreciate it. You don't even need to have a conversation. As long as you can show that you're making enough for you need to do, they will appreciate it. They can say, because they can say, oh, but my daughter a doctor, but my son I want marketer, or my son I want painter, or my daughter do this. As long as you can show a concrete, because let's be honest, parents of the boss and their children as well. I don't know if anywhere else does it, but it's a Jamaican thing. My son I do this, or my daughter do this, and you do. Like, yeah. So once they can do that, they don't even need to understand. As long as they see it working, they're good. Yeah, that's also what I think about it.
Yeah.
And then that in itself would push you more, right? You'll be less stressed. You'll realize that the validation from your parents was missing, and now you have it, you feel better. It's gonna be a weight off your shoulders. Emotionally, you're gonna be more open. So, mama, may I do this? I may I do that? I may I do blah blah blah. That's just what I think about it, yeah. So, in addition to what Rashida said, yeah.
Bars.
Bars. Bars. Yeah. Massive flex. Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
What is success to you?
Success to me is anything that makes me feel fulfilled. That is what success is to me. This providing information like this, providing guidance, really and truly providing guidance and just my perspective on things, because I know I have a controversial perspective on a lot of things other than the norm. Like share that perspective so people understand that it's okay to be different. So success for me would be looking at impacting hundreds of thousands, maybe millions of lives with the message.
With the message.
Right? Everyone does something for the financial benefit of it, but that's not the main driving point factor behind that for me. Because, bro, I want to have an impact, and I realize that the first world country them have more support than the third world countries. I'm realizing in the third world countries like Jamaica, entrepreneurship is being highlighted at a much higher standard than a 9 to 5 is, and a 9 to 5 is being stepped on. Because of that, you come to find out, say, there is no guidance when it comes down to navigate. Let's not say no guidance. There's little guidance. Minimal guidance when it comes down to navigating this workspace in general. I want to change that.
Yes.
I want it to be known that it's okay to work a 9 to 5. It's okay to feel fulfilled in your career, regardless of what it is. Bro, if you go work every day, you do the work and then when you laugh, and you do your work, you get paid. Bro,
You're good.
you're Gucci. Yeah, get your pay. And you just there on the G them. You not talk, you not laugh. Work fun. I feel like say work supposed to fun. You're supposed to be in a work environment where it's fun. Or if it's not fun, not stressing.
That is it. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, find the joy in it.
And I think that is a couple with persons. They don't look for the joy in what they are doing. That is it.
Bro.
They can find joy in everything.
Bro.
This is fun.
This is fun.
This is fun. So
I be a laugh, me laugh.
yeah,
I tell you the truth.
yeah, this is fun. The planning aspect of it is fun. The whole process from the get go was fun.
Yeah.
I've seen things that I'm inspired by him and the person behind the camera. Yeah. Yeah. So this is fun. So I found this is fun. My definition of success, I can say money, the monetary value of it, but it's deeper than money. Because I understand that I want to be able to can help persons without thinking of the cost. And money is normally the biggest cost, to be honest.
That is
I want
so
to know
true.
that if, for example, something happens to any of my loved ones, I can afford to like help them. That is a big part of success for me. Money should not be an issue for certain things, right? And free time, I want to have time for me, right? My solitude time. So that is success, right? So that is my definition. And God, it might be cliche, but God is a big part because without God has been doing a lot of good things for me. No else. No capital L's. Just common L's. Right? Jesus. Right? So yeah, that is success for me, right? That is it.
And on top of that, you can see that both of our definition of success is different. Yours should be different.
Mhm.
Everyone's definition of success should be
Don't let
different
anyone put you in a box or use their definition.
of success to define.
Yeah. It's okay to have it for yourself. For example, that person might have a definition. It's art. That is my definition because it resonates with me. But don't let anyone force you into a box of what success is for you.
And success is ever evolving.
That is it.
Right?
That is it.
Because you can be successful. Let's say you're looking a job. Right? Your goal is to get a job. You land the interview. You were successful in the application submission.
Mhm.
You were successful in the interview. Right? Those are wins for you. People be like, oh, you just get the job. So you work one day.
Can I cut you a bit?
No.
All right. I love how you say wins. The other day I googled the difference between win and victory. Right. And it was so interesting because English, two different words, but they are so close. Those are small wins. You say interview process is a small, you pass through the interview process is a small win. You get the job is a small win. Imagine 10 years, you move up to the highest echelons of what you can reach in that job. Victory.
That's victory. That's victory.
And then your definition for success can be like, all right, I can, for example, make a foundation to help whatever because I see something within I can make a lasting change. Suppose you can fix the road in a community. Success. Suppose you can inspire young persons in your community. Success. Right, so yeah. So you have your small wins, then you can move right up to victory. Or the Bible didn't say sweet win, sweet victory.
True. That one is boring.
So yeah, success. Right, don't make anyone define it for you. Define it for yourself, right? All right, so guys, in the comment sections, can you please tell us what success means to you? Right, you can be as short or as long. Just tell us what success means to you.
We read every comment. Career.
Yes.
Purpose.
True.
Truth.